just sit your ass down?
I've been seated for 2 hours.
You just sat down.
Because I am committed to this episode.
This guy's been meditating on this episode for 2 hours.
I mean, I learned from the best.
To the 2 a.m. podcast. Thank you very much for joining us today.
Not sure where that's going, but
yeah, neither did
we're
I.
here.
It made me a little uncomfortable. But you know what doesn't make me uncomfortable?
What?
Thinking. Going deep. Diving into things that usually don't matter.
Really?
Right? In the grand scale of things. But I have a good time thinking about them and discussing them. So, what the hell am I talking about? Thought experiments.
Please do tell.
And I thought it would be fun for us to kick off today's episode with a little bit of thinking. Some thought experiments. Get the listeners at home thinking. Get the boys in the stew thinking. Everybody's going to be thinking. Quadruple digit IQs.
I'm not going to be thinking. I'm going to be experimenting with thinking. Experimentation, guys.
Laplace's demon.
So we'll start off by the definition of experimentation. I'm just kidding. No, that's very basic here, guys.
Laplace's demon.
Laplace's demon?
Yes.
Okay, those are 3 words.
No, it's actually
2 words.
Yeah, Laplace is 1 word.
Oh, Laplace. Okay.
Yeah, that's like a name. Think of it like that, right?
Laplace.
Laplace.
Please do tell.
It actually might be Laplace. Because it's by Pierre Laplace. So
Then, yeah, that makes sense.
it sounds like your cousin. I wonder if he was trying to be an Adidas model.
Nah, he's more of a Czech kind of guy, dude.
Yeah, he seems like a deeper thinker.
No, he's really Czech. Czech. No, I'm just kidding.
No, for real.
No, for real.
He's
know
more
Pierre?
of a Puma kind of guy.
So,
You're either a guy or a Puma, dude.
you met Pierre, bro?
Yeah.
He doesn't rock Adidas.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he rocks Nikes, dude.
Checks over stripes for Pierre.
Yeah, that's true.
But imagine
Mhm.
a being that knows the place and motion of every particle in the universe. It also knows physics, and its mind works so fast that it can calculate how these particles will exert forces on one another, changing their motions. Can this intellect, described by Pierre Laplace, it's probably Laplace, but Laplace, in 1884, see the future of everything?
Pierre Baguette. Wait, what was the question?
So, I'll try to.
That was such a deep thought that I honestly didn't even notice you asked the question.
I'll try to reframe it. Right.
Okay.
So let's pretend that Zaid knows the place and motion of every particle in the universe. Right.
Pretend.
So he knows where every single particle and atom, how they're going to move and where they're at. Right. Zaid is also a freaky genius. And he understands physics better than anybody else. And his mind works so well that he can calculate how these particles will interact with one another, changing their motions and potentially what they are. So, by that definition, can Zaid see the future of everything?
Not my place to say.
What do you? It's a thought experiment. You can't.
I know,
You
it's a
have
thought
to have an
experiment.
opinion here. You
Yeah.
can't
I have
say
to have
no.
an opinion. Okay, dude.
No,
Well,
it was-
sorry
you
for
don't-
being
no.
stuck to
Hey,
reality.
you don't have to have an opinion. It would be nice if you had one.
Okay.
Right? We're an entertainment show. Like,
I know.
we try to be entertaining.
I know.
I know we try. I'm sorry.
If I know the place and motion of every particle in the universe,
Yes.
then I have a hunch that I do know what's going to happen in the future.
And you can calculate how those particles will interact with one another.
Yes, because I can make assumptions based on previous sums of those particles and what's happened there. I can make assumptions about the future and, in a sense, predict the future.
All right. So, from the dawn of existence to the end of man and woman
Yes.
and women, excuse me, to when the last atom dissipates, Zaid will know when it happens.
I will know.
He will know. What do you think, Saeed? You've been a little quiet over there, my friend.
Yeah, because I'm thinking. I mean, of course, you would know.
Seems like a cop-out answer.
No, like, what the hell? If you knew every moving particle and atom in existence, where it was, 24/7, 7 days a week, you live and breathe that shit. Dude, you obviously, yes, in some form or way, there's just you can't really deny that if that's the
If
way
I
we're
have
going.
the power to know that, then I have the power to foresee the future.
Hold on.
Okay.
Bitcoin. What is the calling?
Yeah, where we at, Zayd?
Where we at, Zayd?
Where's BTC at?
Should I pull out now?
By this time next year,
Well, technically, he could. He
Bitcoin,
could figure that out.
by this time next year,
Yes.
mark the date. We'll refer back to this episode.
What is it? Wait.
Mark the date.
Today is Thursday, April 15th, 2021.
Yes, sir.
Bitcoin will be at $95,000.
Wow, it's wildly specific. I swear, if it's 95,000 on the dot,
No, I don't even
I-
care if it's on the dot. If it's just 95,000 with some change at the end of it, I'm still going to be ridiculously impressed.
yeah. But well, okay, so if it's on the dot, I'm still slapping him. Just saying.
It's
Why
on the
would you
dot.
slap him?
You are.
It's a victory slap. Like
no. I'll tell you what you'll do.
Slapping him on the ass?
If it's
like,
on the
good
dot-
game? or-
no, you know, like at night. Nice cut.
I know
G.
you want to slap ass. All right, relax.
slap ass.
You will send me all of your crypto.
Nah, I'd rather slap you. Send me
I'd
all
rather slap you, bro.
crypto, as if I'm in crypto.
Fuck you. I'm not giving you any of my money.
Okay, dude.
Now, I can't predict the future, but do you know what can?
Oh God.
Wait.
No, take a guess. Like, do you know what can? I'm being serious.
Predict the future?
Yeah.
God. I don't know.
Well,
Look,
God, at least in the eyes of Christianity, even though he is to a degree omnipotent, or by definition, he's omnipotent, right? He's everywhere and hears everything, right?
according to Christianity.
Yes.
Yes.
That, by definition, would defeat the purpose of free will, which we've already discussed in previous podcasts. So I'm not going to try to go deep on it, right?
So, take a guess.
Do you want to guess? Other than God?
Time travelers? What? Dude, I swear, if you say tinnitus one more time, bro. God. You're not even
Tinnitus
saying it.
carrying mofo.
Oh, I
Do you know
can't
what it
wait
is?
to carry that joke in the
Take a
future.
guess. Like I would have guessed like I don't
Is
know.
there any new information that this
Well-
Laplace's demon?
So when I thought about this, the first thing my mind went to was there's a concept in quantum mechanics where at any given moment, just randomly particles can assemble into essentially anything and then disappear at a moment's notice, right?
Mhm.
It's a very strange phenomenon. It rarely never, or as far as we can tell, it never happens, right? Because it's so specific and like just the conditions you would need are bizarre, right? And they don't occur naturally, at least as far as we can calculate and stuff like that.
Mhm.
So I was thinking there's a potential chance that just randomly that some particles might come together and that person, or I guess Laplace, his demon, would have no idea, right? Because it's random. It's outside of his understanding, right?
Hmm.
And on top of that, I'm sorry, this gets kind of weird because then you have what is it
Yeah,
called?
see, my comprehension right now,
quantum superpositioning.
like I can't comprehend this. Like it's just so
Yeah, it's a big one. It's like
it's an ultra wide field. Like
there's like quantum superpositioning, which is like where you can have particles, like if I remember correctly, it was like mirror images of them end up on one place in the universe and somewhere else, and they can exist simultaneously.
and they're basically a replica, same movement,
Yeah,
same.
and if one of them's nudged like even, I don't know, just the tiniest amount, a Planck distance off, which
Oh
is
my
the
God.
smallest measurable
Yeah.
distance in the universe. Which seems kind of crazy, right? Because can't you always go smaller? But apparently they found it. But
Why did they call it a plank?
it's I think it was named after the guy who discovered it.
Yeah.
LeBlanc.
Le
Leblanc.
Why are they all French?
I don't know.
But let's jump back to Laplace's demon, right? So, at least according to this article that I'm getting all of these off, newscientist.com. Thank you very much for all of these thought experiments. They say Laplace's demon, as it became known, probes the idea of determinism. In a purely classical world, the demon seems to work. Chaos theory means that the future is ultra sensitive to the past. But if the demon's knowledge is infinitely precise, it could still know the fate of all.
It could still know.
Quantum mechanics may slay the demon. In mainstream quantum theory, events do not always have case or causes. Radioactive decay and other things can happen spontaneously, but not all interpretations of quantum mechanics include this. Good lord, indeterminacy,
I think you got it.
indeterminacy. Excuse me.
Whatever the fuck that means.
Even if the demon can live on in a universe governed by quantum mechanics, however, it probably doesn't live around here. There's a mathematical argument that shows the entire physical universe cannot be fully understood by any single inference system that exists within it. You might conceive of the demon as some kind of outside observer, but that opens another philosophical can of worms. Is it meaningful to say that something can know all about our universe without having any physical effect on us?
I hate this.
Well, isn't that what
I fucking hate this
Sorry,
shit.
after reading that, isn't that like, at least in the eyes of religious people, isn't that what God is?
Yeah.
So why did he call it a demon?
It was just an example.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not, Laplace's angel. Demon sounds way more interesting. They called it the Dodge Demon for a
Yeah.
reason, mainly because they had an older version of it. But they
Listen,
brought
I
it back.
mean, the only way we can verify this is you have to tune into episode 265 of the 2 a.m.
if
podcast.
it's 265 and Bitcoin is at 95,000,
Yeah. We're slapping him
know.
twice.
You know that I am
He's a-
Laplace's demon.
no, he's a witch.
I am
Ooh.
a witch.
The Hellcat himself.
We have to mark those dates.
That is funny.
Oh no, that'll be on a banner in my office.
Oh, for sure.
When particles move at very rapid speeds, the velocity of the Namibia starts.
Namibian
the
jazz.
Namibian
The
velocity.
Namibian Blanc.
I like reading these because I get to bring out my or I can use my Jiggy Carmacker voice if I want to, but I'm not going to.
That's a lot of words, buddy.
Hey.
I was about to read the other one. It's called the name of the thought experiment is the Chinese Room, but I just kind of wanted to start off with the concept of it and just leave it at that.
Mm-hmm.
It makes things a little bit more simple. And that's can a computer be conscious? In an attempt to disprove this idea of strong artificial intelligence, John Searle, a philosopher at the University of California, Berkeley, imagined himself inside a room of dictionaries and rule books that hold instructions for translating Chinese to English and vice versa. Someone posts a question through the door written in Chinese, and using his rule books, Searle works out an appropriate answer. To the questionnaire, it would seem there is a mind in the room that understands Chinese even though there isn't. Searle claims that a hypothetical rule bound computer designed to speak Chinese would be the same, a mere machine with no understanding. So with that being said, forget almost everything I just said, and let's go back to the original question. Can a computer be conscious? And what is consciousness to you?
My God, dude, you're really trying to F me today.
Yes, I am.
God,
Come
dude.
prepared, buddy.
You're prepared?
Of course, I'm always prepared.
Yeah, okay, bro.
Do you
probably
think? Do you think that a computer can become conscious?
we've all seen Terminator 3.
Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah, there we go. So, I mean, if I have to formulate my opinion because I haven't really thought about this. I'm
Okay,
thinking about it right now.
Think about it. I'll
Yeah.
give you. I'll
Do
give
you
you my
need
answer.
a thing? Yeah, let's hear it.
I do think that a computer can become conscious, because if a computer, whether it comes from a digitized system, isn't it the same thing as a human brain? If it can create its own answers, if it can logically deduce things and form its own opinion.
That was something I wanted to bring up, is levels of consciousness. I feel as if there's different degrees of consciousness, right? And the thing that limits you is obviously your brain capacity. How able are you to process information? And two, I guess you could kind of consider this, your ability to communicate with others of your species, right?
Mhm.
So, for example, dogs bark. That's how they talk to one another, and they also have like, social cues just like people do, but we don't bark. We talk, right? And now it's the processing of information that's the biggest component of all of this.
So to dogs, are we barking?
That's a good question.
Yeah, it's
That
a deep,
actually-
it's
wait,
a-
that is a
Dogs,
good
are
que-
we barking?
How do dogs perceive sound? Well, they obviously better than people, but I mean, like, do they have the ability
Well,
to
no.
understand that there's multiple or that there's different languages?
No. Let's go a level deeper here.
Deeple.
Deeper.
Let's go a level deeple.
Barking is a label that human beings have created. A dog has no concept of a bark. It just does it.
Bro.
No, but think about it really.
but
It
Sam-
has no like a caterpillar has no concept that it's becoming a butterfly. Just
Or-
becomes
yeah,
a
or does it?
butterfly.
But it's conscious to a degree,
Or does
you
it
said.
does it
doesn't-
know it
it-
has to undergo that process in order to change?
it doesn't have the label, oh, I'm going to become a butterfly
Okay,
today.
yes, that's true. But I think when you're saying, does it understand that it needs to become a butterfly? I don't think it calls itself a butterfly, but I think it understands that it needs to go through that process at one point in its life, usually.
Maybe. I don't even think a caterpillar has the capability of creating that understanding.
Jesus,
Levels
bro,
of consciousness. You see what I'm talking
yeah,
about?
levels
Yeah.
of consciousness.
Like there's
It's
sloth
degrees.
consciousness, there's dog consciousness, there's
Yeah,
light
Sl-
consciousness.
Yeah.
Light?
We can assume that inanimate objects also have consciousness.
No,
Why not?
because they don't process information.
Well,
Then-
how do you know?
Really?
There's smartphone consciousness.
Well, that's different. That's technology.
but is that consciousness?
Yeah, but to say a
Just
chair is conscious, I mean, it doesn't have nerves or means to, receive information unless a
Well, how
sensor
about
was
this?
put
How about
inside
this?
of it.
Under the influence of a psychoactive substance, this chair could
Yes.
have consciousness.
No.
No. What the hell, dude?
What are you trying to
know,
think
you know,
outside the
you know who
box,
you
bro?
sound like
Bro,
right now?
what are you even talking
Your
about?
first year of college when you first take philosophy 101 and he's like, see that thing you're sitting on right now? That's not a chair. And those aren't legs. That's not your hair. And that's not a table. And you're just like, what the hell's going on?
I had,
And you're like, where are the rules? Like you're just telling me this isn't an object. What is it?
I had a teacher at
I
Berkeley.
don't know.
I had a teacher at Berkeley who took a philosophy class. And it was like philosophy 101.
Yeah.
And she was saying like how big of a joke the class was.
Mhm.
On their final exam, there was just a whole bunch of questions involving the stuff they had to learn over the year or semester, whatever. But the last question had to be 5 pages long. Writing it out, right? Because they had, I think it was 3 hours or something for this final. It was crazy. And the question was, it was only one thing. What is this chair? And the teacher put a chair on top of the desk, and he said, when you get to this question, you'll know, right? And it was like, what is this chair? And you just had to describe the nature of the chair over the course of 5 pages.
That is
I think it's brilliant.
that is brilliant. Yeah.
Here's the thing. My teacher was freaking out because she was running out of time and had no idea what to write down. So she's just looking at it, freaking out, blanking, doesn't know what to do. 10 minutes left, 5 pages in 10 minutes, impossible. And so she just writes, "What is the chair?" ? Hands the essay in and the rest of the test. And then gets called back, to pick up the paper, see the grade. And above the section where she had to write that essay, the teacher gave her 100% and said, "This is the most profound writing anybody in the class has presented."
And she
for
wrote,
this.
"What is this chair?" ?
Yes. And he gave her full credit. That is not profound to me. That is
No, that
Right.
answer is not profound. But the idea of questioning things that we take for granted, like what is wind? What is, like, Da Vinci had a lot of this thought process. He would observe and he would question everything down to its fundamental elements.
But the difference between Da Vinci and this teacher was she didn't know what to put down,
Hmm.
and Da Vinci was a genius.
Yeah, of course. Big difference between the two people.
I'm not saying she wasn't a genius. She was very intelligent, but like philosophy was not her field of interest. It was music. So
Mhm.
accidental genius?
Like, ask
No,
yourself the
well.
question: what is sound?
No.
Well,
I
it's-
understand that. I understand that completely. Like you said, what is wind? I've questioned that before. What is wind? Okay, get down to it. You know,
Hmm.
like obviously you know what wind is, but really, what is wind?
Wind is the acceleration of particles moving through space that we
Sky.
deem our atmosphere. And once it reaches, I think it's above 10 or 20 miles an hour, that's when you start to recognize it.
This
Yeah,
guy's a
as being
big
present.
brain.
Yeah, we know that now.
Yes.
But imagine being on a field back then.
yeah, you didn't even
But
know
it's
what
like,
atoms were.
You
or
just
like,
feel things, and you're like, "What the
It's a
hell?"
gust from the gods.
it's
Yeah.
the breath of Zeus
Oh my god!
sustaining me.
It's Thanksgiving. I don't know. Just
No, and to answer your question, what is sound? It's
it's a wave. I'm just kidding. It's energy pulse.
sound usually propagates as longitudinal waves, but when we look at them through something like a DAW or a digital audio workstation, we view them as transversal because it's easier for us to understand.
Exactly.
And also, when we look at sound, we like to view it as like a straight line that goes out, right? And it's just vibrating on one frequency. No, it actually pushes the air and compresses it, and that's how it moves through space. And it's very strange, and it's fascinating.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's vibration moving through the air, and it doesn't move through the air in a straight shot. There's like moments of compression, and then moments where it stretches, and then moments where it compresses, and moments where it stretches.
Interesting.
Yeah.
At least that's what I learned in my class.
Have we made any progress in this conversation?
I would say so.
Well, besides getting mind effed,
Yeah. That's the.
I just feel stuck right now. I just feel like, whoa.
That's just how I kind of wanted to start the episode.
That's just
That's a good place to be,
Yeah.
stuck. Because it's just silence.
yes.
and then your mind just-
But the thing is, it's all in my mind. So I feel like I'm speaking, but I'm not right now. I'm just so focused on this world. Now I'm thinking about like stars.
Thinking about the galaxy.
Like, can
think
we
about the
can we
galaxy.
not
about
say
space.
can
I'm
we
thi-
not say that inanimate objects don't have a consciousness? Like, you
No.
can you not say the chair is chairing,
No.
the rock is rocking?
No,
No.
Why not?
because then it's a verb.
Because it doesn't fit
doesn't-
our
it's an
human
adverb.
definition
Or
of
it's
what
an adverb,
consciousness
there you go.
is.
But no, dude, like I feel like the consciousness is also related to being able to feel. Right? Because consciousness is in the mind. And the mind doesn't just work off the mind.
So what about neurons?
What,
Neurons don't.
what about neurons?
neurons- If
so
you-
neurons.
if you look at a video of neurons, they actively seek each other. They don't have eyes. They don't have a brain. They can't, by definition, feel anything.
it's just
But they
pulsating.
have some form of consciousness to meet.
It's signal. Yes. It's like the router connecting to the modem. you know?
Yes. It's the wiring
It's
of your
the-
brain.
Yeah, it's the wiring, and where's the base station, what does it do, and how does the other one help it? Or
Mm.
like,
Are you talking about different parts of the brain?
yes,
In that respect? Okay.
or different parts of the body even.
that too. Yeah.
So emotion is a big one, right? Emotion is a huge thing to guide your brain into making decisions or into believing what you're seeing or whatever it is, right?
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why a lot of people across all religions think about the Antichrist. That's something everyone's waiting for. Secretly.
Everybody wants the world to end, but doesn't
Yeah.
when it comes around.
Why
Yeah.
does everyone want the world to
So
end?
I can tell you from now, Islamically, this is what we believe, right? For example, everyone has like their story of the coming of the Antichrist, right? We believe that he will convince you he is God. Okay? And the people that stray away from God as much as possible will believe it and therefore go to hell. Right? He will drag them to hell.
That begs an interesting question
Yeah.
then.
But let me finish.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry.
So basically after that, the people that are doing well have a lot of good deeds. They're just really connected to God and whatever, can see his bluff, right? And they go, no. And he will try again to convince you and he'll do crazy things that are just unbelievable because your eyes are seeing them, right? He'll do things like he'll bring your parents back to life, and they'll be talking to you, and you're just like, oh my God, this is God. And then he can fool you twice. So that's what we believe in. But the strongest people, the people with faith and just like,
Oh, is it
just really connected.
Are you telling me that
They're
Islam
the
uses the fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice? Shame.
Strike 3.
Not even strike 3.
No,
It's just fool me
it's-
twice, shame on me.
Oh, I thought it was fool me once, strike 1. But fool me twice. But fool me 3 times.
No, it's fool.
Didn't
no,
Bush
it's-
say that?
Fool me twice,
No. Bush,
Whatever.
Bush was like,
strike 3.
fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice. Yeah. Well, you can't get fooled again.
What year was that?
That was so long ago.
He's a very smart dude, though.
Before 2008.
Yeah. But-
George W.
Yeah, you had a thought you were going to say after I finished my
Oh
story.
yeah, that begs an interesting question. So does that mean Islam operates under the assumption that you will never meet God in your current form?
Yes. You will never meet God in your current form. That's exactly what it's not even an assumption. In the books, it's written.
So it's like
We know it.
that's what
It's
it
just
is.
a hard fact.
God will never make himself present in this life.
In this life. But the afterlife, you may have the chance to meet him.
So what would you say to somebody who's been through like an incredibly heavy experience, very traumatic,
Mm-hmm.
and just by the most random of luck, they managed to like pull themselves out of it, right? For example, I probably brought this up a couple episodes ago. I watched Life of Pi not too long ago.
Mhm.
He's super into religions. He like basically devotes himself to every world religion. And then once he's out in the ocean and he gets lost, he kind of drops, at least from what I remember in the movie, he somewhat drops Islam and he primarily focuses on Christianity and Hinduism. And the reason why he sticks with those ones is because when he was out in the ocean and he was experiencing all those crazy things, like he felt as if that was God talking to him, testing his faith, right?
Yeah.
So I guess maybe in the sense of the movie, if he drops Islam, that kind of makes sense, right? Because that means God showing up as the waves and all of the dangerous experiences that he has would not necessarily be God. It's just a weird coincidence.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Because like some people say they experience God when they go through something heavy and they are lucky enough to make it out of it, right?
Yeah. I can see your point, and I can see like how the Life of Pi, why he would drop it.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's one of the missing aspects. Like that's what makes it different, right? So you can see like there's a lot of religions that are just bracketed into one group, right? And they all follow basically from start to end the same guidelines. It's just little details.
We were actually talking about this earlier at
We
dinner.
were.
We were like, we came to the conclusion that essentially every religion boils down to two things: don't kill people,
Mhm.
and just be nice.
Be nice. Be a good person.
And then
have a good heart.
like there's all the customs that come along with it that you got to follow.
It's the little
right?
details that we filled in. It's like Mad Libs, right? You have the first starting stuff. It's all blank, and then it's just the ending conclusion. That's what it is. So the people that wrote religion or whatever, just you filled in the blanks.
Yeah,
like,
it's true.
It's just a
Well,
guideline.
We just added a bunch of extra steps.
Well,
on
yeah,
the end of
and
it.
it's also you gotta remember, it's hard because we didn't live back then. Right?
Exactly.
So you can only trust someone so much, right? Like if there's a philosopher that was just like, yeah, I saw the Prophet Muhammad.
No, you didn't.
You have a
No,
picture
no.
of
I
him?
mean,
Oh,
I
right.
would say like, no, you didn't.
Oh yeah. I
Yeah.
thought you were talking to me.
No, not
obviously.
you, not you.
I was born in '94, bro. Like what? Yeah. Yeah. No, you didn't. You
Yeah.
know, like you just like immediately you can't trust it. But like, I don't know. Let's just say someone from that lived in that era, but from a different country was just like, yeah, I saw him or I met him. Like
Even then,
you're gonna
you
have
can't
like a
trust
30%. You're gonna have like a 70% I wanna, or like a 50% I wanna believe it, and then like a 20% of
It's the game of telephone.
don't
I can't
think so.
trust it.
You can't. You don't know.
I had
You
a
just-
very random thought.
Yeah.
When you said a guy or a philosopher claims he saw the Prophet Muhammad. And the first thing that came to mind was, I'm like, yeah, and I also saw Jesus holding a 40
Yeah.
down on, Las Vegas
Down on
Boulevard.
PCH,
Like,
yeah.
yeah, and he was like just out of his mind. But then I started thinking about it. I'm not saying he was Jesus, because he's probably not.
Yeah.
Very highly,
Very highly.
very highly,
A very high
unlikely.
100% chance.
It's probably just
There's a-
alcoholic.
Not even 99, 100% chance.
There's a very highly 100% chance that it wasn't him.
Well, how do you know?
But it
I'm just joking, I'm just joking.
that's kind of the thing I was getting at to a degree, right? Like, have we created a society that, I guess you could say, our gods or our God, if depending on your religion, would disapprove of, right? It's so full of sin, disdain, hatred, pain, that the prodigal son, at least in Christianity, if he were to return, would he be able to withstand those temptations like he did back in the day? The 40 days, 40 nights in the desert
Yeah.
or whatever.
They're largely the same temptations,
Yeah.
just intensified.
Yeah, and they're way more prevalent, though.
Yeah.
Like, much more prevalent.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Yeah, instead of
according to
traveling
the story, this is the Son of God. If you can't withstand that,
Well, I'm not saying
Why
he
not?
can't. I'm not saying he can't withstand it, but it does raise an interesting question about where we've come as a society, which I guess you could say
Mhm.
probably better than where we were a couple hundred years ago.
Yeah, I think it's phases.
Only
I
probably
feel like it's just like it gets better and then it just turns into crap
And then it gets better.
and then it gets better, but in a different way.
yeah,
And
it's
then
like-
and then it turns into shit in a completely new way. And then
and then we learn
it just
from
gets-
that, and then we rebuild, and then after a couple hundred years, it all falls apart again.
Mhm.
just we try not to blow ourselves up during the shitty phases.
yeah.
Try
But
to make it
Yeah,
out on the
that's
other
you
side.
know what, that's the biggest thing now is like, yeah, back in the day when it was shitty, it was really bad. For example, the Black Death and
Mhm.
stuff like that, the plague wiped out, what was it, a third of Europe? That's a mass extinction event right there.
Yeah.
Like, that's a lot of people going down,
It's
especially back when there weren't as many people.
Oh, dude, that gets into the argument where it's like you have those people who support, like, oh, I'd rather live in the 1700s. It was so much better.
Yeah, have fun.
No.
dude. Bro, come on. What?
I will catch you at the witch burning.
Yeah. You know what I love?
Be
Pro-
gone, demon.
Pros and cons list. Just tile it 1700s and see how many fucking cons you come up with.
17-foot pile of shit
Everything.
in New York City. No, thank you.
No vaccine? What?
Which Johnson is more responsible?
Everything's bad.
Which Johnson fucked up this time?
Everything's bad. 1776, United States. Everything's bad. No, I'm kidding.
Oh my god.
Ugh, had to do it.
Yeah, my brain just went through like a roller coaster. But
Good. That's what we wanted to do.
it also got me to just like, I don't know how, but it got me to think like the way we are raised, is that embedded into us? And
What?
let me explain.
Yeah.
So you know how we just call our parents very old fashioned?
Mm-hmm.
They have lived, like, let's just say every decade they changed, right?
Well, they do.
They do. They get older.
Yeah.
But their mentality kind of stays the same. Like, it stays into the
For
period
the most part.
of when they were like 23, and it just kind of gets, or not 23, like the 20s, just kind of gets stuck there because no matter what, today,
Mhm.
I can hang out with my dad, for example, right?
Yeah.
But there's always going to be a barrier difference where it's just like he will not understand certain things, and I will not understand. And
Mhm.
it's not just me. I've heard this from a lot of people, where they go, "Why do we still use like? Is it possible for parents or people to change?"
Yeah,
Should be, right?
I would say it is.
It's definitely possible. It's just very,
Ver-
very difficult, especially as you age. At least for most people.
Yeah.
Because you get
gets me to
stuck
wonder.
within certain ways of thinking. And yeah.
There's
Like-
a reason the expression "you can't teach an old dog new tricks"
Mhm.
carries so much weight.
I don't think they can change. There's something
That's very pessimistic.
They're not likely to change.
They're
Yeah,
not
they're
li-
not likely, but they can. Is my
Yeah,
point.
they can. They're just not likely
They
to.
can. I don't know. It's just a very weird thought to me. Like, it's just so. I don't see it happening.
I think you
You know,
can
I don't see them
change-
changing. They always just stay stuck in their mentality.
Yeah. You can
Right.
teach a dog new tricks if,
Old dog.
or
An
you can
older-
teach an old dog new tricks if I think it's linked to a very traumatic event. I don't know. Dark Night of the Soul type of scenario.
Whoa.
Good lord.
Yeah. A lot of people
Well, I would
a lot of
say
people
yes.
need to hit rock bottom in order to change.
I'm sorry. I was thinking about a literal dog, and I'm like, what are you doing to this dog, dude? Jesus.
I don't know. Well,
Like,
how about
Zayd, you're
this?
so sadistic.
Does consciousness start to just wear out when you get older?
Well, yeah. Well, actually, depends. How strong, how active are you with your brain? Like, how often are you trying to exercise it on a daily basis? That usually leads to less likely of by exercising your brain, it leads to less likely of diseases like ALS, Parkinson's, stuff like that. But
Yeah.
it's a lot of it's genetic too, and I guess you could say, yeah, your brain does slow down because I mean, like you've been around old people, so have you. You know,
Yeah.
when they talk, it's at a different cadence
Mm-hmm.
because they realize that they don't need to be fast. Like they're not in a rush. There's nothing that's like
Let me enjoy this.
exactly.
Yeah.
It's like a fine wine.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna take my time with
I
it.
saw something a few days ago that makes me beg to differ. I saw like an 89-year-old man just totally cruising through stop signs,
Going
almost
ham.
hit somebody like right in front of my eyes. She just did not give a shit.
Get off the road.
Well, that's a different question. Should old people be allowed to drive?
Yeah, just like anyone else, just pass the damn test.
No, it depends.
No,
the test needs to be updated.
Yeah, the
for
test
old
does
people
need to be
especially.
updated.
No, I think the test needs to be updated in general.
Yeah, well, for everybody.
Like I think it should be
Yeah.
way harder to get a
Because here,
driver's
here,
license,
like
but-
we've talked about this before on the pod, I think. But it's just like one of the questions is like, you hit an ice cave. What do you do? Do you reverse out, or do you just like
An ice cave?
do you? Yeah,
you know, the Southern California
Yeah,
ice
that- yeah,
caves
that's- yeah,
that are so
exactly.
prevalent.
And I'm like, why does this make sense in California? Where's the? Why don't you tell me about my car getting stuck in the sand or
To
something?
be fair, in the
Like-
mountains, like you could be stuck in the mountains with some shit like that if you're going skiing or snowboarding,
Yeah,
whatever.
But like, I feel like that's just there was a lot of ice questions, and I'm like, what the hell, dude? It's not like we live around ice 24/7. It's sunshine and rain. Like,
That's true. That's
teach
not what
me about-
I meant. I meant like there needs to be more. There needs to be a better hands-on approach on how to navigate through traffic, and there needs to be a better understanding of like what traffic actually is and how it can
Yeah.
be mitigated.
I feel like there's certain people they're like genetically they're just not meant to drive, dude. Like
I agree. Well,
that's it.
well-
Some people they're very panicky too.
I don't
You
mean.
gotta
I'm not
remember that.
talking like in terms of a race. I would like to make that very clear. I'm
Yeah,
talking
no,
like,
we're talking about
like what you're saying. They're very
yeah,
frantic.
individual human beings that are
or-
they're very frantic or they get very nervous quickly. I know people like that.
Mhm.
You know, they're men just like me. You know,
Or even
And-
even worse, the people who are just like, I don't give a shit. Everybody get out of my way.
yeah,
Good luck.
mm-hmm.
They'll do like 95 down the 405.
Yeah, like that idiot we
the
saw
red
yesterday.
light
Exactly.
warriors.
Red light warriors.
Going 80 in a 40 while someone was merging and almost killed him. Basically, it
Yep.
was past a car accident at that
Yep.
point.
But-
Stupid.
But I mean, like when I'm talking about on road driving, just for traffic specifically, like, did you know there's at least in the U.S. so they claim there's a reason for the 65-mile-an-hour speed limit, and that is if everybody on the highway in all lanes consistently drives 65 miles an hour,
Mhm.
and you're not riding the ass of the person in front of you, you can mitigate a substantial amount of traffic. But the reason why we're so backed up all the time is because there's people that are just racing, you
Yeah.
know, to get to where they need to go, and that causes compression in traffic.
Mhm.
And when there's this compression, then it starts to move, right? There's just kind of this continuing line of compression, and then it moves forward and then moves back.
Not to
and
mention the
So
accidents
think of
that
a-
occur and
exactly.
Think of an accordion.
yes,
But you're just shifting this way the whole time.
405
Exactly.
accordion.
That's all that's happening. I don't know, but like, what's funny is that tweet, dude. I will never forget it. But it's just like, bruh, how the fuck is there traffic? Just keep driving.
Just keep driving, bro.
I
We'll
love
solve
that.
all your problems.
Oh yeah, great solution.
you know what? That I'm sorry. Like as funny dumb as a tweet as that is,
Yeah.
like
It kind of makes sense.
when you're sitting in LA traffic and you're looking in front of you, you're thinking like, okay, people are trying to get off at exits and stuff like that.
Mhm.
But there's still so many people that are just in the regular lanes, not in the exit lane. So it's like,
What
how
is-
how are we stuck right now? Like
Yeah.
where up ahead does it stop? Is
Yeah.
it an accident? No, there's no accident. It's just shitty today. It's just terrible.
Just
Dude,
everyone's
on the
brain is
101.
firing at 50% today.
It could be one freaking 2004 blue Corolla just trying to merge in, and it's just causing all this. My God, bro.
My God, man.
I do not want to talk about traffic. It's coming back and it's pissed me off already.
You're getting Vietnam flashbacks?
Yes. Back on 91.
POW of the 405.
Zayd and I had a pretty gnarly one. And do you remember over by Joshua Tree?
The ice cave.
Ooh. Are you guys
The
talking-
ice caves of Joshua
Yeah, the ice caves of Joshua Tree.
No, I'm
Flatlands.
talking about we were driving and we were on our way to the Integratron area, right? And on our way there, this dude in like a lime green Honda Fit is just like, all right, you're right there. I see you. And then like just rammed, like merged almost
yeah,
like
yeah.
into us.
What the hell?
Essentially driving us like into the shoulder. And I'm like, I'm about to hit the sidewalk right now.
Yeah.
And this guy just zoomed, did not even give a shit.
Bro,
Looked right at us.
he
Like
really thought he can fit.
I guess you could say he Honda Fit.
Even if you fit, you don't have the horsepower to even make a maneuver like that. Get out of here.
But what was weird, like, dude, the nose of his car, the front bumper was like essentially where my B pillar would be.
What the hell?
Yeah, he was like nose diving right into the side of my car.
Yeah.
Just like
Why
not?
I get it's a small car, dude, but like you will die, not me.
Bro, here's another thing I've
No,
seen
he
lately
would have been
on the
hitting
road.
me like as I'm driving. Just
Oh yeah.
Here's
That's
another
true.
thing I've seen lately on the road. People who are not willing to fix their fucking cars after an accident. It's like you have the most erratic
Well-
drivers, and there's no coincidence that half of their left side driver's door is missing.
hey,
The rear bumper is completely gone. It's basically almost
hey, let's-
totaled,
you
and they're
can-
still driving it.
Let's take a step back for a moment and remember our good friend empathy.
Yes.
Right? Some people can't afford to fix their cars.
Yeah.
Some people aren't driving irrationally. They got hit and they got screwed by that entire event. And
Or-
they,
From what I've seen,
It's
it's,
a-
not those people.
Listen. It's a
how would you
transitional.
even know? Are
Because
you
they're
talking to these
no,
people?
they are
Are you
driving.
getting their biography?
They are driving erratically on the road while their car is fucked up.
Okay, fair enough.
Okay.
I'm like, I'm gonna make an
yeah.
assumption there that you caused this.
Yes.
Strong language. Okay.
Yes. That makes sense.
Put your big boy pants
I don't know. Empathy, bro. Empathy. Look,
Yeah.
as much as I love to complain about that stuff too.
on. Empathy until they hit.
Like
hit a fucking
it'll take
family
me
of
2
four.
minutes and I'll be like, man, that was messed up. Like I should have just like at least thought about maybe he's in a shitty mood. I don't know. He's human.
Do you guys have any have you seen or can you recall any of your favorite shitty mod jobs? Like I mean,
Oh
like
my
they
God.
tried to fix the car themselves
Yeah.
and they didn't want to take it in because they probably couldn't.
I saw
they
one
probably weren't able to
literally
afford it,
yesterday
but-
while we were driving. I just forgot to point it out because it was a quick flash.
Mhm.
We were on the 91. We were just driving, and then all of a sudden I look to my right as we're passing the car. You know how people try to like put wide body kits around
Yeah.
like especially the tires, with like the giant bolts.
Yeah.
This guy tried doing it the other way around, the cheap way, which is you grab the roller and a heat gun and you like concave the inside.
You're joking.
I swear to God. And then one part of it was like crinkled too much. So he looks like he messed up. And it wasn't even wide. It just looked like you bent it out of shape, dude. I'm like, nice spacers, bro.
Spacers, dude.
You're riding so wide, my guy.
It was just funny.
What was that one car who tried to? It was like an SUV that tried to look like a brand new G wagon.
Oh, is it like a Mitsubishi?
No.
What?
Oh my God, I remember this. It was what was the car? It was so random.
I think it was older.
it was so random. And they tried to change out body panels,
What the hell?
like certain corners to try to make it look boxier.
oh my
And it was
God.
it was a GMC something.
It's a Scion XB.
No, it's a GM. Oh God, I wish I could remember.
Anyways, it was
Yeah,
ridiculous.
It was like this super.
Disgusting.
It was just a mid-tier SUV. It's
yeah.
like back when it came out, it wasn't great and it wasn't the worst thing. It was just a
Mhm.
car, right? And this guy, it rounded off at the top and he was like, nah, I want it to be boxy.
Oh my
So
God.
he took weird, very bizarre fender flares that were still rounded, but definitely more angular than the stock ones.
Yeah.
And then he tried to pinch off the top of the body panels to make it look more
Flat.
boxy.
Yeah. Sharp edge.
And he put really weird headlights in it. Do you remember that shit? It was so
tried
weird.
to replicate a G wagon.
Yeah, it was hilarious.
Don't try to replicate Mercedes, man. You'll just look like a fool. Well, I'll laugh at you.
just rock what you have, and
just
you know,
yeah, there we go. Well, at least we know. You'll get
Or,
there
like,
one day.
Try to
but,
make it look like a clean example of what it is. Like, instead of dropping like to modify that car, the amount of time it must have taken and parts was probably at least, like, if you were to take it to a mechanic shop, like $5,000 to maybe $8,000, somewhere in that range.
I gotta
right?
say this, but it looks like he spent a G.
On that wagon though.
at least a G.
When he could have he probably could have just spent like
Yeah.
$1,000 and cleaned up the car and made it look pretty nice.
Mhm.
Right? So when he goes to resell it, it has a slightly higher value. Still like stock components, right?
Yeah.
But you pay somebody to go underneath, clean out the underside of the car, maybe the engine bay, maybe get an updated version of the rims. You can keep the stock ones too if that's what the next owner wants. But
Yeah.
my favorite mod of all time, or it's like cheap mechanic job of all time, right? DIY at home. This guy had an Infinity. Is it a G37?
Of course,
They come in 35 or 37. So.
Okay, so it's 37.
Was it
I
a
remember
coupe?
that. Yeah, it was a coupe.
Well, they were both coupes.
It was a
Yeah.
space
Stupid.
coupe.
Yeah.
No, it was a coupe,
That's
and I
a
remember it
space
was a
coupe.
37.
Okay.
And it was gray. I was driving back from LA in the month of May by the bay. No, and this guy had gotten rear-ended. It was obvious. Like
Yeah.
you could see that his trunk like still had some impacts in it. You
Mhm.
could see like where he tried to pull the dents out with like a suction cup.
Yeah.
On TikTok, they're using glue now, which is a really dumb idea because it's
Yeah.
like have fun getting that off your car.
Yeah. I'd
But-
rather focus on my paint.
Yeah, exactly. So you could see where he tried to fix it, and like he did an okay job, for not paying for anything. But here was the best part: his bumper was screwed, his rear bumper,
Mhm.
but he was able to bend it back out and smooth it out to the point where it actually looked pretty regular. But it kind of snapped off, or it didn't kind of, it snapped off on one side, you could tell. And so there was like all these jagged edges that must have been there before. This dude cut off the jagged edges on both sides, tucked in the rear of the fender, so it gave like the G37 like an even crazier like pinched
Ooh.
look. And then he took zip ties, hole punched holes on the existing rear body panel
Mhm.
and the fender that he modified, and then he put the holes like right next to each other, and there was at least 20 to 30 zip ties per side, and he just bolted them all into place, tied them up, locked them up super tight. And I mean, yeah, it kind of rattled as you went down the highway, but I mean, for doing that yourself in your
job.
garage,
Yeah.
it wasn't too bad.
Nice.
I got to give him props.
Yeah.
They're in my garage with my zip ties.
I mean, it was hilarious because
And
you see, like his car just looks like the face of who am I thinking of? Like Coraline, like a Coraline character just sewing all over it,
Oh.
right?
Yeah.
But it's just these zip ties lined up along the side, and they're perfectly like bound. Like,
Bro, that's art.
I had to give him props. He did a great job
That's creative.
for what it is. He did a pretty good job.
Yeah. It's just zip ties and holes.
Yeah.
It's pretty dope.
But he also like cut it off and molded the rear fender so it would kind of work with the lines of the car.
Yeah.
And he had to like also slightly extend it just so that there would be enough material to wrap around the
Mhm.
sides to fit it. Like, dude put thought into it. What was even weirder, it was a plastic fender, right? Like, it's not metal.
No,
on
it's
a
not metal.
G30.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
so that
plastic.
means he was like molding this plastic and managed to repaint it somewhat similar to the original color of the factory.
That's pretty cool.
good on you, man.
I gotta give
Good
him
stuff.
props.
Yeah, it's a lot of brain power.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, I know that seems ridiculous, and I was laughing at it at the time, but like, I look back and
This man's a genius.
yeah, great job, bro.
Yeah.
Modern day.
The
Da
only
Vinci.
time I don't care, like what you do with your car, even if it looks cheesy or whatever, is if you're having fun doing it.
Yeah.
If you have fun and you like it and it's just like that's what you're doing it for, awesome, dude. If you're doing it for attention, I promise you, only everyone's laughing at you.
You know what? There's a street racing scene in Tokyo, and I wish I could remember the name or the style of these cars. But if you just look up, I just looked up Japanese crazy Lambos.
Mm-hmm.
They take like Lambos, Ferraris, like very high-end sports cars, and they do the gnarliest mods to them. They look like an arcade.
They make their Lamborghini look like Disneyland.
Like, here's an example for you guys. We'll
Yeah.
put a photo on the screen later. SV Flex. He wrapped it in chrome or like a green chrome, made the rims as big as they could be, slammed it to the ground, put LED strip lights around the interior of the door, around the wing, underneath the car. They all flash. It's super abrasive to the eyes, and I respect the hell out of it.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of videos of those. The meets.
Dude's driving a freaking Countach right here.
They don't even drive, dude. They like basically crawl to the fucking meet.
No, they drive. Once they get on the freeways, they go. Like
They whip it.
I'll send you.
Yeah, but
I'll
when there's a
send you
lot of
one.
crap going on in a specific spot, dude, they're going like 2 miles per hour. Just they're not scraping anything right now. They're not trying to do anything.
That's true. I'll send you a video of this guy who he was lucky enough to get into that scene and like film them driving around Tokyo.
Mhm.
It's some of the craziest shit.
It's trap.
Yeah.
Dude, like I'm talking like they're hitting $160, $180.
Yeah.
Some are aiming for 200 on freeways,
Wow.
going for it, right? In Tokyo, which I know it sounds great. It's just one city.
Do they have an Autobahn?
They don't, no.
They don't.
No.
But they have a highway that you could compare it to the Autobahn in the sense of like how, it's smooth,
Mhm.
well maintained. But it's very illegal to speed in Tokyo. They have cameras everywhere. They take a photo of your face and your license plate, and they send it like just to your house or something like that. The ticket, right?
Only the Germans have the Autobahn,
Yeah, I'm jealous.
Well, they have the best cars.
They do.
and only we.
Have the best podcast.
Exactly.
Exactly, guys. You know what to do,
Sheesh.
baby boo. Anyway, guys, we are on YouTube. I don't know if you guys heard, but yeah, we have a
Ooh,
clips
yes.
channel too. Go follow us at the 2 a.m. podcast for full-length episodes. We also have the 2 a.m. clips where you can find all the damn good clips from funny to informative.
Get off Twitter, Zaid.
Exactly.
We're doing the outro.
Yeah, bro, come on.
Have some respect.
Exactly.
Damn,
Look,
bro.
dude, we lost
Wasn't
2
even on
stars,
Twitter, I was
bro.
on
We lost
Instagram.
2 stars.
We just lost the perfect
Anyway,
rating.
Apple Podcasts, guys. It's a great platform. If you listen to us on there, please go like, subscribe, rate us, leave a review. It helps us drastically. Also, we have a support link now. If you would like to support us and have, just more episodes and just more fun, maybe more vlog videos in the future, let us know.
Because they're coming.
Exactly.
Whether you want them or not, they're
Yeah.
coming.
Check us out. We have everything linked on the Instagram at the 2 a.m. podcast. Let your friends know, let your family, let your girl know, let anyone know. All right. So until next time,
Especially-
guys.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Peace.